You never know where the market's gonna bottom out.
Can we come in?
No, you cannot come in.
When can we?
I need 20 more minutes.
Oh,
I was almost done. I had to do it again. Leave me alone.
get out.
You never know where the market's gonna bottom out. In the stock market, there's a rule. Nobody follows it. I mean, it's hard. It's simple, really simple. Buy low, sell high. It's what made Warren Buffett, except you never know where the top of the market is or where the bottom of the market is until it's already happened. Hindsight. I think it's about time. I think it's time to make a move. So, listen up, buyers, and listen up, investors. Intro. Okay, been a little bit since we've talked about the market, and I think it's time we discuss this. So a quick recap. 2019, great, strong, solid real estate market, followed by 2 months of nothing when we had COVID lockdowns, and then 2 years of unbelievable craziness, just insane market, the likes of which we will probably never ever see again. Good times. And now, the pullback. Every market is different, but here, I'll just say in Bend, Redmond 2, I believe the pullback has already occurred. Now, you might not see it on our monthly stats, but living and breathing in real estate every single day, I'm pretty sure it's already happened. Imagine a saddle. Like, we're actually already here in this little low part of the saddle, which means in the future it could start heading up again. We'll talk about that at the end though, okay? Now you won't see this on the news for another 60 to maybe 120 days. I mean, there are a lot of sales and stuff that need to go through the escrow process. That's 45 days of escrow, sometimes are new construction. So it's gonna take a while for this to actually flesh out in statistics. Oh, new construction. There's a side story for you. Builders right now are really stuck between a rock and a hard place. Actually, to be fair, or to be very specific, they are stuck between current contracted buyers who are waiting for their house to be finished and new would-be buyers that are looking to buy their current standing inventory. See, new construction takes time, like 6 months to a year, or even more if it's a fancy custom house. And for a long time, new construction was the easiest way to score a house. I mean, with all the retails being these big bidding wars, if you had the flexibility in your time frame to move here, you could buy a house back then and be like, yeah, I don't need it ready for 9 months, that's fine. But it was a lot less competitive, right? Well, then the market turned and softened. And like I said, prices have already come down. So now you've got somebody who's buying a house in a neighborhood and they're at a contracted price for what they're getting. And then there's another house that's identical to it that's just been released or that's been on the market now for 60, maybe 90 days that didn't sell and it hasn't sold and it's sitting there. You know, the builders don't like taking price reductions. They don't like dropping their price because it makes everybody else that they've already sold a house to kind of upset. Like, hey, you sold me that house, this house for 800, the same exact identical house next door now you're selling for 750, what gives? That doesn't make people very happy. And builders have to kind of uphold their value and keep their value. So they don't really like taking price reductions. But they've got a lot of standing inventory right now, so what are they gonna do? They lower the price, that's gonna make the other people that they're already in contract with, whom they haven't finished their house for, upset. And now that the market is softened, I've actually heard of buyers leaving their new construction house to buy a different house somewhere else because it's a better deal. And in most new construction, you're walking away from some earnest money one way or the other. These buyers are walking away from earnest money, throwing away perhaps tens of thousands of dollars to go find a different house because it's that much of a better deal, because the market has softened. And again, to recap, builders don't want to reduce their sticker price. So what do? Well, you're gonna start seeing a lot of incentives. You're gonna start seeing appliance packages or backyard landscaping or fencing or even money for closing costs. These are all things that you don't really see on the surface, So when a house closes in Zillow, it closes or closes on the MLS, whatever. But if the public sees it on Zillow, they see that it's still closed for, $800, but really they got like $15,000 to $20,000 worth of goodies that doesn't really show on the sold price. Those are things you're gonna start seeing out of builders. In fact, we're already seeing them. Wild times in new construction, for sure. Okay, so in the market in general, what are we seeing right now? Again, I could very well be wrong here. The market could just keep shitting it. Whoa, I don't usually use that kind of language on here. The market could continue spiraling downwards into what could be a crash, but I kind of doubt it. What I'm seeing is that the pullback has already occurred and there's two camps right now out there. Number one, sellers who are trying to grab the tail end of the wave and missed and priced their home too high. And they believe that the market should bear what it was bearing before. And then their properties are just sitting and sitting and sitting. And now even price reductions don't help. Because there's a stigma to the property. People don't want to buy a house that's been on the market for 90 days when, a few months ago they couldn't buy the house when it was on for 90 minutes. It just feels weird. And now that interest rates have gone up, the whole thing just kind of feels icky. And I can see that. The other camp are sellers who have come to the market more recently, and they have savvy agents, really sharp agents who also understand that the pullback has already occurred and are really aggressively pricing their house. And they have cut the price of this house considerably. For example, I have clients looking in the $600,000 range. There are about a dozen options out there right now. They're all very comparable. They're all, the same kind of house. They're all in a $600,000 range. But they've all been sitting, all of them. They've been sitting for, 50, 60, 80, 90 days. Some of them taking price reductions, but again, like I said before, it just doesn't really help. When you've been on the market too long, it's like a kiss of death. Then, a very sharp agent that I know came on with a house that's very comparable to all of these dozen that I'm talking about, and it came in at the mid to upper fives. Whoa, that looks like a screaming deal. And boom, what do you think happened? Multiple offers on opening weekend. What?
But John, in this market, there's price reductions happening everywhere.
Yes, but sellers, there is a price at which buyers will hop off that fence and take action. But back to the buyers. 3 of the last 6 homes that I put in contract in the last 2 months have been multiple offers because we found those listings that have come on that have been a really, really good deal, have been a good value. It has made the last year look like, well, this is great. This is way cheaper than anything I've seen over the last year. That's where I'm certain that this pullback has already occurred. Now, how much further down it's gonna go, I don't really know, but I can't imagine it's gonna be much further. I think we're nearing the bottom. Point being, sellers, there is a price at where buyers will hop off that fence, stop waiting around, and take action. So if you're looking to sell, you need to be aggressive with price. Make your property seem like a screaming deal compared to all of the others on the market. Otherwise, you'll just be another house, sitting and waiting and collecting days on market. Look, feel free to reach out to me and my team for a customized market analysis on your home if you are considering selling, because things are definitely still selling right now. Okay, but this brings me to my next big point is buyers. Get off the fence and make your move. Now is the time. We had a ton of buyers back when things were crazy. And now that things have calmed down a bunch, those buyers didn't just go away. They had to take a time out because of the interest rates. We still have way too many buyers compared to the inventory. We're still way behind on new construction starts. And those dang investors keep buying up homes and turning them into Airbnbs, further reducing the amount of homes that are out there and available for, first-time home buyers. So, rates are stable now and actually falling. Inventory is up right now, so there are options to actually shop for. And yes, prices have come down a bit, on some homes significantly, on some of the stubborn ones not so much. But in that case, you actually have some negotiating power. If you move now, you could be ahead of the next kind of big market push. This is healthy. People need to kind of remember what a healthy market is. Be more logical. The past 2 years wasn't healthy. It's not realistic to waive every contingency known to man just so that you have a shot at winning a house in a bidding war. It's not healthy to expect 20% appreciation on a house every year. Sellers might be bummed that the ride is over, but we are finally back in a healthy market where buyers can actually take a second to engage in some due diligence, where sellers actually have to do some home maintenance for the buyers before closing. This is good, folks. As I said in the beginning, we're in a little bit of a saddle right now, and nobody knows where the bottom is gonna be, but I really suspect that sometime in the next 6 months, we're gonna start seeing things trend back upwards. Not crazy like it was before, but things are gonna start moving upwards, in the upwards direction again. Yeah, I know, I gave myself 6 months. That's a long runway, but you know, I could be wrong too. And if everyone who's been waiting to buy all jump back in at the same time, we could have another inventory crisis on our hands. Enough about that. Look, it's time. Buyers, let's go. Sellers, let's go. It's a new day, and the uncertainty of this market will not last much longer. Thanks for letting me put my opinion out there. Am I terrified I'm wrong? Sure. But hey, I'm also not afraid to tell you what I think. There's a lot of FUD out there, and I'm an optimist. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit like, leave us a comment, and we will see you over on the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't worry guys, this is only my 3rd time, so I should crush it. My computer screen was just barely at the very bottom frame, and for 25 minutes it focused on that and not my face. So I went to watch it back and I was blurry the whole dang video. Okay,